Good evening, fanatics. Happy New Year to all my followers and customers. Wishing everyone a prosperous 2026, and may you be blessed with continued health and everyone keep smelling great for 2026. First off, I want to thank all Fragrance Fanatic customers for the continued support. We wouldn't reach where we are without your continued support. And I know for sure we have achieved our mission statement in having more people experience more sense of the most affordable option. So, I always promise to try to do a little content. It's usually kind of impossible between my day job, this business initiative, and getting time for myself and family. But I say I wanted to start off 2026 with a little content which I to focus on some affordable scent options. First, I'm going to start off, at least for this video, focusing on men scents and kind of looking at specifically what the Middle Eastern houses that now have extremely excellent quality and what they offer at incredible prices. And I wouldn't say now recently, everything, but in the last 5 years, they have really stepped up their game. My first encounter with Middle Eastern brands would have been in 2015. They traveled to Dubai, and that's when you saw how expansive their local fragrance industry is. And I can tell you the quality from then to now is heads and tails different. So they have some good offerings, and what's good now, a lot of the offerings that came out in, I would say, 5 years ago, really cheap and affordable to get now. Regarding men's scents, I generally think, as being a perfume collector myself at once, I don't do much perfume collecting anymore, simply because I don't have thousands of scents that I can actually test as part of the business. But men in particular, I think, need more scents to fit the diversity of male lifestyle. And what I mean by that is the man is generally seen as the head of the family. The fact is, men make up most of the management positions in the corporate world still. So men rule, and the masculine figure needs a little bit more diversity than women. I generally think men need about 5 different scent profiles. I'll explain why I came up with the 5 compared to women, which I would say about 3. A man generally needs a daily scent, scent that is, I would say, suitable for office environment or just going to hang out during the day, a trip to the mall, a trip to the supermarket. They also need I would say, an evening scent that is something suitable for possibly going out on a date. But on evening events, you might have functions, you might have a dinner, and that's, for me, requires a separate scent profile and dress wear, right? There's a lot of pairing, I would say, between the scent you're going to use and the clothing requirement for the environment you're going to be visiting. Man also needs a scent that is something formal. It could be a function, a graduation, but something that is suitable for shirt and tie or with a suit, right? I don't think I always have issues with people who dress in a suit, but when you smell the scent they have on, it seems like they're looking to go to a party and not a formal event. So a formal scent is required. So we covered three main areas: day scent, evening scent, formal scent, and then we touched on the fourth one, which is a date night scent. And in the date night scent also, because I'm going to cover two things that could go into date night scent, it's usually a scent that is unique to you. You know that scent when somebody smells you, but when I mean that somebody, a significant other, their brain always associates that scent with you and intimate moments, right? So I have here 5 cents. All of these scents are relatively cheap now. Most of these scents I have on my website for less than 400 TT. And if you could purchase it on your own online, and if you're traveling, send it by family, all of these cents are actually under 30 US or 25 US, I should say. And some of them are now available below 20 US. There are one or two that start the prices and are now below 15 US a bottle. So I want to start with the everyday center. And this is the Riad, what they call Riad Lux. This is actually a clone of a scent that, for some reason or other, because it wasn't, I would say, a scent that was so different to what the market was offering. It was a very safe release by Dolce & Gabbana some years ago, which is the key by Dolce & Gabbana. And this is actually a clone of the key, especially the EDT version, because they did come out on the key series, a EDT version, an EDP version, and a perfume version. The EDP, I would say, performed as far as sales much better than the EDT. In the air, you basically can't tell the difference. The EDP had a more formal approach, but that didn't do very well as far as sales. But this is a very good day scent grab and go. Something you can run into the supermarket, to the mall, you could use to the office. It has a relatively decent performance, I would say. Easily, you can get 5 to 6 hours of performance from it before it actually feeds to a faint skin scent. This is a really good option. You can find these online as low as 13, 14 US now. I think I have them just because of the cost to ship them in somewhere around 350. But if you're traveling and you have the opportunity to purchase and send by a family and collect, these are selling really cheap now. They used to, initially when they came out, they were in the 25, 30 US range, but much, much cheaper now. Really good option. And this comes in a really nice packaging. As far as comes in a plastic box. Real nice packaging. If you look at the packaging, it's well worth more than the 13 or 14 in US it sells for now. The other option is a blend of, I would say, two of the evening to date night scents. The first one I would want is one of the popular scent DNAs that has been cloned. This is the Ram Silver, which is actually a clone of the Jean Paul Gaultier Ultra Male, that sweet, partyish, youthful scent, the party boy scent. This is a great evening scent. It could be used in the day also. I don't particularly like it in the day because having that sweet scent trail in a work environment, um, especially for myself, who a manager where I am professionally, they're trying to figure out if your staff come to work smelling like this, whether they actually come into work or looking to track. That's a separate topic, but this is a really good option if you want an evening scent, something to go out tonight, a party and lime. These now, again, used to be in the 20 something US price range. These sell sometimes as low as 12, 13 US. Right? Really good option. This is another one. You easily could get 5 to 6 hours longevity from it. Other one in that nice Evelyn sweet scent profile is the Ijazi Intense Silver. And this was a clone of the popular but limited European release of the Newt Electric Blue by Yves Saint Laurent. So this is a sweet, a sweet aromatic scent profile. Real nice. This doesn't have at least the same projection and strength as the original, but it's a really nice alternative. And this is the next one that you could find below 15 US also. There's another one that I think we now have below 300, but really good scent option. Not as long as this has a little less longevity. I would say more into the 4 to 5 hours. But for the price you pay for this, you could easily either decant some and respray, but you could get it relatively cheap if you're buying it on your own. And now I think I have the scent that is the kind of intimate. This is my scent. This here is the Amir El Oud by Lattafa. One of the clones that I would say started propelling Lattafa into popularity, right? A lot of people talk about Karma. This kind of propelled Lattafa into the game in the very least. This is a clone of the replica by the fireplace. This actually comes off a little sweeter than the original, but what you get is a nice woody marshmallow burn scent profile that's really unique. This is the real intimate date night scent. This is scent that a woman wants to smell next time, man. When you see you come over to Netflix and chill, you go on a cinema date that not many people are going to have. I've actually smelled very few people with this scent profile, even though the scent profile is very popular away. And one of the reasons I guess it wouldn't be that popular down here, this is really good for the night times. I've used it in the day also, but really good for night times, really good for cooler temperatures. But excellent choice. This has excellent longevity, 8+ hours. If you spray this on clothes, then it would be on that clothes for days until you wash it out. And then the last is really the formal scent. This is one of the more recent clone houses out of the Middle East. Has really good, really good quality. This is the scent that kind of made it popular. They have some other current releases of and some that are clones of other popular scents. But the Absolute No by Arteria is a clone of Creed Adventus Absolute. What is unique about Creed and what has made Creed so popular, and not just the name, the Creed scent profile is one of the scent profiles that could be used in almost any occasion. It could be used for formal settings. You smell somebody in Creed in a suit and tie, they come across smelling dignified and suited for the wear. You somebody who has on Creed in a white t-shirt, a nicely pressed out jeans, you might say, yeah, this is a guy who has money, because the only way he could be smelling like that, he has money. So this is a really versatile scent DNA. And this could be used formal, it could be used semi-formal, it could be used for work. What you don't really want is to have your formal scent be your everyday scent, right? Because then you just don't come across as smelling different on a different occasion. The nice thing about this, this is a much cheaper option than the new Intense, which is a clone of the original Creed Adventus. And then Armaf option for their clone of Adventus Absolute. Comes in a much smaller bottle, only 55 ml, and is twice the price of this. So this is a much better option. There's also one you easily going to get 6-7 hours of longevity. This is another scent that you will go nose blind on. So this is one of these scents that you will likely stop smelling it after 2-3 hours, but everybody will tell you how nice you smell it, right? Really good option. So, like I said, 5 cents that really, if you currently these here 5 cents, if you were buying it through our platform, you could easily get all these scents for $1,000 or less. If you're buying these online, I would easily say you're going to spend less than $100 in purchasing these 5s. Right? And you don't need any other scent to complement your rotation on these 5s. And so I'm going to try to do a similar video with some women scents. I think there are also some excellent woman scents at the lower price option. I think for the women, possibly need 3. I would say a daily scent for women, an intimate scent, and a scent for a formal occasion. And then I will try and do also some other videos, maybe in the next couple of months, on some of the other options, the higher price clone options, and what they would offer given the same kind of 5 cent analysis for men and 3 cent analysis for women. So thanks all. This weekend I'm going to try to do the raffle, which won't be a long video because that is being done by a programmer. So no picking out of a box to see the winners. Computer is going to generate the winners from the list, right? So look out for that this weekend. Thanks all.